Alright, so hi guys, happy Halloween! And let's get into the nitty-gritty details. So, before I go into the process and ramblings of this video, I have a couple of things that I need to say on my paper ASMR, so that way I don't forget, and I want to do it in the beginning of the video instead of the end like I've been doing, just so it's easier. Hey, if you're seeing this video, please check and see if you are subscribed, because YouTube is dumb and has been lately unsubscribing people, so please check that. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe after you watch the video, of course, because like I said, this website's getting irritating. But it's not just me, lots of creators are having these issues, and I need to now mention it for that and that. Also, now, this picture is actually a temporary print holiday edition on my Redbubble. Well, Michelle, why didn't you get this done sooner? Shouldn't you? Well, I kind of think that any time can be spooky time. And I also had a terrible month. If you have been a follower of my channel for a while, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great to me whatsoever. Now, I'm going to be having this up all the way until the month of November, and then I'm going to be taking it off of my Redbubble because if you guys are new here, I also have a Patreon, and I did a big oof a few months back when I originally hit my $500 goal on Patreon. Yes, I'm one of those people that still has dollar goals because you girls got bills to pay. And so when I hit that $500 goal, when the website updated, it showed me that I had actually unlocked the mini print goal, which sadly I had not. But I had already promised those people that I'd be doing mini prints. So from now until December of 2020, unless I miraculously hit that goal, which I would love, but in no way is it necessary, all $10 and up patrons get a Patreon print pack sent to them. I have to do it this way because I do not currently own a good printer to print them at home, so I have to get them printed through another site, and in doing so, because of Sick Spiky Round Boy, it may take some time to get here. So anyone who is a patron from now until December will get a Patreon pack, which I will mail out in the middle of December of 2020. Again, unless I hit the goal, then I'll be able to do it constantly every 3 months until I can get a printer. One of my goals, and I made a Patreon post about it, was that I wanted to get a printer, but life happened and money had to go to, being an adult. So, yeah, letting that know. But if not, and I don't hit the goal, which is fine, I still promise that. So any $10 patrons, like I said, from now until then, that's paying for the pack. You will be getting 3 to 4 prints that are mini prints, and this Halloween one will be included. So if you want to become a $10 patron, that does also include international. I know, it's weird. Usually international shipping's higher, but because it'll even out, if you want to, $10 will pay for it. So, like I said, until after December. Starting January, if I don't hit the goal, gotta not do it. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. So if you are one of my patrons and you wanted to get the print off of my Redbubble store, which is not sponsored by Redbubble, I literally just use them, and they do pay me, but not in the sponsorship sense. I get paid through that website because, like I said, I don't have a printer. So if you wanted to get it for a print, know that it will be in that mini print pack unless you didn't want your address on there, so you didn't care. But I'm letting you guys know about that now. Also letting you guys know if you want to do that, because I was supposed to also get my updated Patreon video out. That ended up happening, so that's probably going to happen sometime in November or December with my luck. But anyway, that's all I want to do that. Now let's talk into the nitty-gritty of the video. So hi, it's Halloween, it's spoopy season, it's Samhain, not Samhain. Well, I do like when people call it Samhain because I think it's ironic, it's technically Samhain. So, I did this picture back in 2017 where I had to be a speed paint and a random ramble, where I ended up drawing my character, Nyx, which is a Halloween-inspired star dragon, and a star dragon is a closed species. I know any of the old fans know that I used to be really obsessed with them. I still am. I still love my babies and my characters, but they don't get as much use as they used to. But Nyx is still one of my favorites, and I'm taking my buddy Zode's, Zodiac Lord's, little thing, because he said this is the last year he's doing his redraw for Halloween, and I'm like, you know what? I really like this image and how the redraw came out. Maybe I should do that every year for at least a couple years, see how that goes. Make a little tradition of it, unless, life hits me in the face like it tends to do. But I love how this redraw came out. It was done fully on my iPad. Keep that in mind. I know my old iPad video at the start of the year is like laughing at me, but that thing's coming in handy, and I'm starting to eat my words on what I said about the iPad. But I did the entire thing in my iPad Pro, and I wanted to change a lot of things up with this image this time around. I wanted to add more of the character. I wanted to add more like variation in the pumpkins. I want to do better coloring, so I've gotten better at coloring. Now, I do admit with the original, I do think the coloring in the original is more intense than it is here. But I like the more subdued look in the redraw. I also learned when you're working with layers, colors, filters, and things like that, you actually want to mute bright colored characters. This is a trick that I actually got again from my buddy the Zodiac Lord. When he was working on one of his commissions, I was like, the flats are like really muted. Why are they really muted? And he's like, oh, well, because when you throw layers and stuff on top of it, it makes it pop more. And my not so smart, not big brain butt was like, that makes so much sense. Why didn't I think of that? Oh my god. I felt so stupid. So, with mood pieces like this, obviously I'm not going to do it for all of them because I also don't get commissioned to do a lot of them. But for mood pieces and colored pieces, I want to do that more, especially with someone like me who I might not wear a lot of colors in my daily life being, a lazy goth chick. But I do love bright colored characters if you've followed me for any amount of time. And doing the muted tones, adding the layers to it, really does make it pop. Another thing I had to do, because I wanted this to be 11 by 17 print size, so I could scale it down and, make things look all nice and fancy and pretty, I had to do it in 1117 on my iPad Pro. But I also had to do it at about 600 DPI, I think is what I had it at. Because I believe DPI stands for dots per inch. I could be wrong, but I know that that's like the scaling ratio. You want to have at least 350, but if you like follow like professional artists or a lot of other artists, they like big chunky files. I am a big chunky file girl. Okay, well, I'm 27. I really shouldn't call myself a girl. I'm a chunky woman. I like chunky files in women, and so, that doesn't sound great either. What the heck? Anyway, in doing so, the iPad Pro and Procreate only have a limited number of layers I can use, which for someone like me that likes layers for many things, oh boy howdy, that was a challenge. But I remembered seeing from another artist that I followed where when they did color blocking, they ended up doing it with like these bright, very different color layers, very highly saturated all over the color wheel. And I was like, I might have to just do that. So I cut a lot of footage from the actual speed paint. There were points where things were getting very monotonous, very mundane, and I just didn't think it'd be really interesting to watch. Plus, that's a lot of time that I was also just doing stuff and taking breaks, because when you work with very high saturated flats, they tend to hurt your eyes, especially if light sensitivity like me, and it wasn't a good time. But anyway, once working with that, I was able to simply take the select tool, because you know me, I like my lazy stuff, and I was able to select those layers to fill them in to get the flats done. Now for the flats, I ended up using the base that I originally got Nyx on when I got her okayed through the Star Dragon group, God, years ago. And then I had a commission that I had colored by Snail of Approval. I believe his name still is. It could be wrong. He used to be on Tumblr back when, Tumblr was a valid website. And now he's on Twitter. But I think it's also like Impossible Snail or Snail's Art, something along those lines. But I love his stuff. His stuff is also great. Very vibrant and cartoony. And he's actually the one that designed Nyx's Halloween dress, which has been a staple in my art ever since he designed it. And I wanted to mess more with that dress and have her in that dress. And ironically enough, when I got my iPad last year as an early birthday gift, I got it in October, and the very first doodle I ever did on it was a picture of Nyx, and I'll have that on screen so you can just see how far I've come in just the course of a year with the iPad Pro. This is not a shill for the iPad Pro, it's just simply what I use, so I'm letting you guys know. But in doing so, I wanted to mess with things, and I wanted to change things up. Another thing I really wanted to do, another artist that I am extremely inspired by, is Red Pandorama on Twitter, and her stuff is so vibrant and spooky and soft and colorful, and I love her pumpkin pictures, because she does like so many different colored pumpkins. And in the old picture, they were all the same vibrant cheesy kind of pumpkin, and they didn't have that much depth to them. They felt very flat, especially looking back on it now. They look very cut out and flat. This time, well, again, not perfect. There are things I would change. I do like how I do feel like it is now a more dimensional. She is holding like pumpkins and spheres, and they're around her over like cardboard copy and pasted all around. But I did that, and then what I ended up doing was I kept the color block layer down under, so that way when I wanted to do my little doohickey where I take, like color pick and mess with the shading, I was able to still do that without messing with the overall picture, because so much of it is black, white, and orange, and because of that, you don't want to like mesh too many things together, because something I like doing is I really like having the eyes and the teeth on a lot of my characters be blue. Now, I know technically that they should more be like a yellowy tint, but with my art, I like the blue. I like the pop, especially when I have really pale-skinned characters, pale-skinned characters, talk Michelle, like I do with Nyx. And because of that, I like because that way you can really tell that it pops from the body. Granted, not everybody does that. Like I said, a lot of my friends don't, and that's fine. This is just something I like doing. It's those little stylistic color choices, and I need to get my phone muted because how many times do Discord rings go in my video, I swear. But I was able to work with that. I was able to work with the fingers and the glowing effect, and yeah, I think that's it. No. After I selected all the coloring, what I ended up doing then was, because it's like something else I've actually been doing in my artwork, is I still like that good thick. I like those good thick lines, but I started doing more colored lines, more muted lines, especially with my iPad Pro work, where I'm doing more things where I'm actually setting the line art layer to a multiply, and with this picture, unlike the original, I had it set to a darker brown, and then what I would do is I would select using that color block that I kept at the bottom layer, so that way I'd be able to fill in things and have it multiplied. So that's how I got the soft look of her skin, the like warmer tone of her skin through through that process, as well as getting the blacks to pop out and the oranges to pop more, and the pumpkins up in the front. So the front, I'm not good at like perspective talk. Sorry. The pumpkins in the front of the picture, I wanted to make them a little blurry to make them look like they're popping out a bit more. It's a perspective trick that I saw a long time ago that I still really like doing. And so there we go. That's the Rambles. I really liked it. I hope your guys' Halloween is going great or getting better if you've had a bad month like I have. And I'm just really excited to go into November, guys. So let me know what you thought down below. Let me know if you want to redraw something or anything else coming in your mind or your Halloween plans. Let me know down below. I really love commenting and reading everything you guys have to say. I love you so, so much. Thank you to my amazing Patreon patrons for helping support me in this trying time. All of my other social medias are in my Linktree link down below. Like I said at the start of the video, if you want to buy this as a print, it will be up until November 30th, which is my birthday, which then I will be taking it off of the store because I will be ordering the actual prints. So, all right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.